Good morning, everyone. Our topic for today is frameworks and principles behind our moral disposition framework, presented by RJ Imperial and Angelo Biabad. So, number one, framework and principles behind moral disposition. Framework. Moral disposition refers to the underlying attitude, beliefs, and tendencies that shape an individual's moral behavior and decision making. So, sabi doon is, yung moral disposition daw is ang it refers to the underlying attitude, belief, and tendencies that shape an individual's moral behavior. So, in the principles, the first one is moral disposition. Moral disposition is often influenced by various ethical frameworks such as virtue ethics, utilitarianism, deontology, etc., each emphasizing different aspects of morality. Moral development theories, like Kohlberg's stages of moral development or Gilligan's ethics of care, also contribute to our understanding of moral disposition by highlighting the progression of moral reasoning values. Next, number two, role of mental frames in moral experience. Mental frames. Mental frames are cognitive structures that shape how individuals perceive, interpret, and respond to situations. So, na mental frames do ay siya yung kaisipan na nagbubuo kung paano yung mga tao or ang kada individual is natututo paano mag-interpret, paano mag-perceive, and paano mag-react or mag-respond sa mga bagay-bagay o sa mga sitwasyon. Role in moral experience. Number one is mental frames. Mental frames influence moral perception by, by framing situations specific ways affecting what aspects of a situation are salient and how they are interpreted morally. They guide moral judgment and decision making by providing a lens through which individuals evaluate the rightness or wrongness of action. So, the mental frames also shape moral emotion and motivations, influencing how individuals feel about moral issues and what actions they are inclined to
Okay na?
take. So, number three is classification of dominant mental frames. So, cognitive frames. These frames are based on cognitive structures and processes, including the ontological frame and consequentialist frame. So, dito sa deontological frame, it emphasizes rules, duties, and rights in moral decision making, focusing on principles such as fairness and justice. So, ang example ng deontological ethics is in moral philosophy, deontological ethics or deontology is the normative ethical theory that the morality of an action should be based on whether the action itself is right or wrong under a series of rules and principles rather than based on the consequences of the action. So, dyan naman sa consequentialist frame, priority, it prioritizes the consequences or outcome. So, kabaliktaran siya ng deontological frame. It consequences or outcomes of actions, often associated with utilitarian thinking, where the goal is to maximize overall happiness or utility. So, sabi din sa consequentialist, It prioritizes the consequence or outcomes of actions. So, mas pinapaboran niya yung magiging outcome ng isang pangyayari. And minamaximize niya yung pagiging positive ng outcome or kumbaga overall happiness or utility. So, ang example dito sa consequentialist is ano, yung lie dito. Consequentialism is an ethical theory that judges whether or not something is right by what its consequences are. For instance, most people would agree that lying is wrong, but if telling a lie would help to save a person's life, consequentialism says it's the right thing to do. So, base dun sa example na yun, dun sa consequentialist rin, pumapasok yung pagiging pagiging bias or kumbaga pagiging one-sided na ano, mas pinapaboran niya yung consequences or magiging outcome which is na magiging positive or tama. Next, affective frames. So, these frames are based on emotion and effective responses. So, there are two types of effective frames. There are empathy and moral identity frames. So, in the empathy frame, empathy frame centers on the emotional experience and perspective taking, emphasizing compassion and understanding towards others. So from the word itself, empathy frame. So parang ano, mas pinapaboran niyo yung mafe-feel ng ibang tao or pag-iintindi towards others. So number two is moral identity frame. It involves the internalization of moral values as part of one's identity, guiding behavior based on personal integrity and moral self-concept. So, dyan naman sa moral identity, it involves the internalization, kumbaga, of moral values as part of one's identity. So, dyan nalalaman kung ano yung mga moral values na meron yung isang tao. Next. So, these mental frames are not mutually exclusive and can coexist and interact in complex ways within individuals' moral experiences. They contribute to the diversity of moral perspectives and responses observed across different contexts and individuals. Next, next, what is virtue ethics? Virtue ethics is an ethical theory that emphasizes the cultivation of moral virtues as the central focus of ethical living. So, ang virtue ethics do is an ethical theory that that emphasizes the cultivation of moral virtues as the central focus of ethical living, rather than focusing on the rules or consequences of action. So, kung dito, mas pinapapaboran kung ano yung, ano, kung mas in-emphasize niya yung cultivation of moral virtues, yung mga, ano natin, mga moral natin sa buhay or mga tama or pagiging alam natin sa tama at mali. Virtue ethics emphasizes the development of virtuous character traits that lead to moral behavior. So, yun na yun, na in-emphasize dito sa virtue ethics yung pag-develop sa virtuous character ng isang tao. Kumbaga kung gaano ka kabait, gaano ka integrity, gaano ka kaganito para mag-lead to moral behavior. So, yan lamang po and ang magpapatuloy naman po is si Art. So, in continuation, Art, ikaw naman. Thank you po.
Para po sa ating pagpapatuloy, ang next po is Aristotle perspective. So, telos purpose or purpose. Aristotle argued that everything has a telos or purpose, and the telos of humans is to achieve eudaimonia, of, often translated as happiness or flourishing. Virtue ethics aims at realizing this telos by cultivating virtue. So sabi po dito ni Aristotle, ang lahat ng bagay is may purpose. Pero sa human, ang purpose na ito is para maging happy. Then tinawag niya ito ng eudaimonia. Uh, which means para mamuhay ng maganda or masaya. Next is virtue. Virtues are character traits that enable individuals to fulfill their telos. Examples include courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice. So, ang virtue daw po dito is like a good habit or qualities para makatulong sa people na ma-achieve yung purpose nila sa buhay. For example, yung courage, yung wisdom and temperance and justice. The next is happiness. Happiness, according to Aristotle, happiness is not merely pleasure or the absence of pain, but a state of flourishing achieved through virtuous activity. So, sabi naman po dito ni Aristotle, yung happiness po is not just feeling good or not feeling bad. Ito po ay more about living um, ng magandang buhay where you're doing things that make you better person. Yun na next. Next is St. Thomas Aquinas perspective. Natural law. Aquinas integrated virtue ethics into his natural law theory, emphasizing that moral virtues are rooted in human nature and the natural order. So, Aquinas, sinabi niya po dito na that being good is part of kung sino tayo bilang isang people. And it's all about living in a way that fits with how the world works naturally. So, inisip niya dito na yung yung thought na being good is means na having certain good qualities that are just part of being human. So for him, being good, hindi lang siya sa pag-follow ng rules, kundi it's all about having this good quality inside us. So next is happiness and virtues. Aquinas saw happiness as the ultimate end of human existence, achievable through the cultivation of moral and cardinal virtues. So, sabi po dito, yung si Aquinas po is um, naniniwala na ang tunay na happy is yan yung goal ng ating buhay. Then yung sabi dito, ano, um, yung best way para ma-reach natin yung happiness is dapat is yan yung pag-develop ng ano good habit and qualities like being kind and fair. Next is critique of virtue ethics. Cultural relativity, virtue ethics can be criticized for its cultural relativity. What constitutes of virtue may vary between cultures and history periods, making it challenging to establish universal standards. So yung ano po, sabi dito, uh, people from different cultures might see virtues differently, which make it hard to agree on what's right or wrong for everyone. Next is lack of guidance. Action guidance. Critics argue that virtues ethics lacks clear guidance for actions, unlike deontological or consequentialist theories, which provide a specific rule or principle for decision making. Virtue ethics may struggle to provide concrete answer to moral dilemmas. So, unlike other moral theories that give clear rules or principles for making decision, yung virtue ethics doesn't always tell you exactly kung ano yung gagawin um, in a that situation. Vagueness of virtue concepts. The concepts of virtue can be vague and open to interpretation. Different individuals may have different understanding of virtue, leading to disagreement about moral conduct. Next is application of virtue ethics. Despite its critique, virtuous ethics remains influential and applicable in various contexts. Character development. Virtue ethics provide a framework for character development both on an individual and societal level. It encourages the cultivation of virtuous traits through education practice, and moral exemplars. Next is professional ethics. Virtue ethics can be applied in professional contexts such as medicine, law, and business by emphasizing the importance of ethical character and integrity in professional practice. Next is ethical leadership. Virtue ethics offers insights into ethical leadership, highlighting the importance of leader possessing virtuous traits such as honesty, compassion, and fairness. Basahin ko na lang yung halaba na naman tong oras. Ethical decision making. While virtue ethics may not provide explicit rules for decision making, it can complement other ethical theories by offering a framework for moral deliberation and judgment based on character virtues. So, in conclusion, virtue ethics offers a valuable perspective on ethics by focusing on the development of virtues, character traits as the foundation of moral living. While it has been subject to critique, its emphasis on virtues and character remains relevant in contemporary moral discourse and practice. Thank you very much.